lot subdivision that I had created on a piece of property that I purchased back in about 2 years ago. I put all the documentation. I went to the town to get subdivision approval, and I got all the approvals. I got the town board, planning board approvals for everything that was done. It was totally engineered. Everything that was issues that were going on here were taken into consideration, and I put in place measures to help resolve or prevent problems from my site, and I also picked up some problems that were happening from off-site, which is Whitesboro. So I got all the approvals to do everything I needed to do. The next step was to put the utilities in and get the road in order to get legal road frontage to build houses. At the time, you know, I'm a small builder. At the time, I needed the extra cash to be able to start doing the road work and all the utilities, because it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what I did is I went back to the planning board. I changed the design of the lot to have the whole thing as one building lot, so that I can get the road frontage down on the end of Glendale, so that I can start building this home and start getting some cash flow in to have the money to do the road and the utilities and everything that needed for the whole development. So while I was building this whole house, I was getting the funding coming in from the bank for this house. That helped me fund doing the water main, the sewer main, the electric and gas, and getting all that done so that I can get the road done, because that all had to be done before the road got done. So I got all the drainage and everything all taken care of as per engineered plan, as per approved engineer's plan from the town engineer, highway superintendent, planning board, everybody. It was all approved. I did all the utilities. I put the road in. Once I got the road in, the next step was to go to the town planning, not the town board, and ask them to accept the road for dedication. Now, I worked together with the town highway superintendent, Rick Sherman, and on building the road. And there were some issues and concerns he had with the actual gravel that was being used that was approved. And he told me he wasn't happy with it. And I told him, okay, no problem. It cost me over $10,000 to change the material, because we already had it down, to change the material to make the highway superintendent happy with what we were doing. So I did all that. So after I got all that done, I went to the town board and asked them to accept the road for dedication. And ever since then, I guess it was last year in June, there was one of those really bad storms, 100-year storm, I guess they call it. And there was a lot of flooding that happened on the other side of Middle Settlement Road. Now, that water issues, and it's all on YouTube videos and it's all documentation, that's been going on since the 80s. But this particular time, the town board decided to use it against me. And what they're doing now is they're trying to force me to do a drainage study of my property and solve all the problems. The main issue with the drainage here is that the culvert pipe going underneath Middle Settlement Road is not sufficient in size to handle all the water that comes from Whitestown, because Whitestown is really where all the water is coming from. My water on my site is being picked up by my detention pond, which is the way to resolve issues on a piece of property. Whitestown's water goes underneath my property right to where it's been going since 60s and 70s. And that's creating, under a bad storm, it creates too much volume for the culvert pipe that's on the other side of the road, that goes underneath Middle Settlement Road, to be able to handle. Because you have 120 acres up in Whitesboro that comes through that one pipe, and then you have 72 acres from Bosse's that tries to get through that same pipe to get to the other side of the road to be able to relieve the pressure from the water uphill. So basically, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to get the road taken for dedication. I've done everything above and beyond. I have all documentation of all that's been done legitimately, and here I'm in a situation financially because I have customers who are losing rates on their loans because I have no legal road frontage at the time, at this particular time. So they gave me the option of converting the road into a private road, which is a whole big process in its own, or to do this drainage study and fix what the drainage study says needs to be fixed.
The study itself would cost how much?
Depending upon exactly what they're looking for. I'm waiting for my engineer to get back to me, but it could cost upwards of $35,000, $40,000
And you feel, obviously there's things that, if you're developing here, that you need to take into consideration, but you feel that they're actually trying to solve a pre-existing issue and kind of throw it on your,
Absolutely.
throw it on your plate.
I've solved all the issues, and I also, there's a drainage pipe that comes down from Whitestown. I diverted that into my detention pond to help slow the water down so that it's not rushing through. So I solved everything on my lot above and beyond, because the detention pond is built bigger than it needs to be in order to make sure that there was no issues with water from my site creating a downward impact on the rest of the water system. But now they're basically trying to force me to do this drainage study before they accept the road, even though I did everything I was supposed to do as per New York's or as per New Hartford law to get them to accept the road for dedication.